G'day everyone, Gordys Gasbags is back. Really pleased that everyone decided to jump on board and have a little bit of a look. As I told you, it is courtesy of my favourite beverage, the Corona, in a very interesting time in our lives. Another special guest today. I know you've all been wondering who it is. Look at this. They've gone out in sympathy with me. Now, this person's from New South Wales, played for Australia. I actually went to the Australian Institute of Sport with this person, and she's known for the best hands in the business. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Natalie Avellino. Avs!
Woo! Yeah.
Where's that photo from?
That is a big blow-up Corona bottle from our Canberra days. It was actually my third year, the OCI, a frequent haunt of ours.
The OCI.
I was the Corona queen, and I ended up with a big blow-up Corona bottle. And I actually was looking for it last night. The girls gave me, for my 21st, a bottle of Corona on a stand, and the Miss OCI queen, Miss Corona or something. And I think
go on.
I think I might have thrown it out last year because the Corona was not looking very yellow. It was a very odd colour.
It can change colour after a week, in my opinion. That's why you've got to stay on top of it. Hey, the OCI, the old Canberra Inn, for those of you that haven't been down to the haunt, it was a bit of a heyday for the AIS athletes. I mean, we trained hard, Nat, didn't we? But we played hard.
We did. We needed to because our training was so intense. So certainly, I'm sure a bit different to the days of today. But
listen,
I've been good. I've been busy. I've been all over the place. I've been New Zealand. Got after the institute, I was Adelaide. Been Sydney. I've been Melbourne. I've been Adelaide. I've been New Zealand. Back to Sydney. So been around a bit.
Yeah,
been around
I
the
know.
track.
But nice to be back home in New South. Your mum's there. God love your mother. We love your mum.
Yeah, she hasn't changed from. She hasn't changed. Good old Pauline. So she's Leah looking really good, and back home with mum and dad. I've been back just over a year and a bit. Have been in New Zealand and just sort of thought, time to come home and spend time with mum and dad. Sort of health wasn't too good there at one point, so. And my partner's still over in New Zealand, which is a little bit tricky, but, his elderly parents, and he actually lost his mum in January this year. So that's, when you've got older parents, you want to look out for them. So,
and that even more evident at this particular point in time, isn't it? It's just crazy what's going on. We'll get to COVID-19 in just a second. I opened up by saying, and I honestly believe, Nat, that this is true. In terms of players that have played for Australia, you, my friend, had the best hands in the business. You were a bloody freak of nature. Like, seriously. I mean, I had the pleasure of, playing alongside you and training with you in the earlier days, but, geez, I mean, once you grace the court in your green and gold, extraordinary.
Yeah, it wasn't very long, but, it was just, I suppose, that what I'll probably be remembered for, but just something that, I don't know, it was just a knack, peripheral vision, which I'm trying to teach my daughter at the moment. It's not something you can really teach, but, it was just, I don't know how or why it happened, but it just was probably a strength of mine.
Did you feel like when you were playing you could just read the game ahead? Because you obviously had an innate ability to your game sense. You knew the game, but it was almost like you could just see 2 or 3 steps ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I could, and shame in life I couldn't see a couple of steps ahead. But, on the court I possibly could, and it was probably seeing what was in front of me to also see to what was beside and just having a look to see what the shooter was up to. So always sort of thinking, and at times it was probably my downfall as well, that I was probably a little bit too fast or saw it, but the person wasn't ready, or just let it go a bit too far up in front. But, I could read the game and sort of figure out what I was going to do maybe before I got the ball.
So back you played because you were a goal attack traditionally coming through the system, and you had a sniff at that at Aussie level, but you finished your second berth with the Australian team in at wing attack. And it was kind of that era we were flipping over and saying, you know, we wanted a different style. I mean, we chatted with Shelley O'Donnell in the first episode of this, and she was a phenomenal wing attack and that big, strong body. But you sort of filled that role as well.
Yeah, and look, I don't think there was some real true wing attacks after Shelley sort of finished at that elite level. You know, Sue Kenny was a goal attack converted to a wing attack. So it was a position I think that was lacking there for a while with Australia. But then, you know, I was lucky, as you said, I'd gone missing for a while. I was out of the Australian team for 9 years and got back in because surprisingly a wing defence got pregnant and I was called into the squad as a wing attack. Tell me how that works. But
who got that? Who was pregnant?
Peter Squire.
Squire, correct, yes.
Peter Scholes, yeah.
Yes.
So that's Norma Plummer for you. And so, yeah, and obviously she thought maybe something was just missing in the team and but there was a whole lot of drama even before coming back into that team. But, yeah, wing attack was where I finished up and a lot of people say it's a similar position to goal attack, but it is on that other side of the court and but it was about probably being smart and being able to, and maybe it was just my vision and feeding into the shooters that sort of helped me move out into that position.
So you said you spent some time over in NZ. How are the dirty Kiwis over there?
Oh, yeah, dirty Kiwis. Yep.
Did you love it?
Yeah, they're okay. Pardon?
Did you love it?
Yeah, no, I did enjoy it. I went over in 2004 to play with the Sting after a controversial 2003 in Australia where I went through a whole sort of court case and that was interesting times. And went over and played. Yeah, I went over and played. And that was due to netball, really. You know, wanting to stay in Sydney but play for the Thunderbirds and wow, did it cause some problems and look how many people do it now internationally.
Yeah, I know. Gosh, haven't we moved on and sort of sorted ourselves out as a sport?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So, you know, that was testing times and I got an opportunity to go to play for the Sting in Invercargill, right down the bottom of the south. So I had no idea where Invercargill was, but I had heard of the Sting. And
bloody cold.
Yeah, it has its moments. And Robin Borton's like,
Natalie,
look,
for all of those watching from Invercargill, you will agree with me. You don't just have your moments. It's freezing there all the time.
Believe it or not, I've been to the beach in Invercargill in February, mind you, with 1,000 other cars on the sand as well. But, yeah, Robin Borton was straight up, you're coming over as a bench player. Okay, that's all right. I had Donna back then was Lofthagen, and good mate Tanya Dalton sadly passed away 3 years ago as the other shooter. And so, you know, fair enough, sitting behind those two. Dean Wilson was at wing attack, Leslie Rumble was at centre, so it wasn't a shabby team, really.
Yeah, decent.
And unfortunately, Tanya did her knee. So it was like, oh, no, now you've got to play. So in 2004, I played with the Sting, 2005. And then, 2004. And then Norma Plummer sort of had seen some of the games and thought, you know, maybe I'd like to get this girl back playing in Australia and ended up going to play for the Thunderbirds and all of a sudden I'm back in the Aussie squad and team and Commonwealth Games and after that headed back to Invercargill again and played for the Sting in 2006 and 2007. So... you
know, when you think about it, you probably really shaped or paved the way early on for a player that moved in the system before its time, didn't you? Because, as you said, nowadays it's, you know, well, people do it. I mean, we've got contracts and dollar involved. But back then, you know, to get a player to move interstate was a difficult task, or even to go internationally.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was at the Institute in my last year, and Michelle Dendecker was a coach there, and one of their shooters was retiring, and she had asked me, you know, what were you doing? And I wasn't sure. And, you know, lots of talented players in New South Wales netball. I had Sue Kenny, Nicole Cusack, Katrina Wag, and, you know, I wasn't really, if I wanted to take my netball to that next level, wasn't really going to get ahead with those players in front of me. So I thought, oh, well, why not? Let's go to Adelaide. And off I trotted to Adelaide for 5 years, had 4 premierships, and
Is that under Mark?
played with no, that was under Pat Micken. So I was with Garville, and Marg Engo was with Contacts.
Yep.
So it was me and Jenny Borley shooting against Sarah Sutter and Catherine Harvey.
No wonder South Australia did well. Well, they've always done well, but during that period with that going on, terrific.
Yeah, so I had Michelle Decker down the other end, I had Danielle Grant in at centre, Sheridan Abbott wing attack, so some girls that you've experienced at the Institute. So, yeah, it was so it was a really timely move for me. And that's, had some great success there where I got selected in the Australian team first time round in 94.
Good journey, Nat Avellino, good journey.
Yeah, it has been interesting, some tough times and disappointment, but hey, you get that and you just got to carry on and keep plugging away. And
name one person that's gone to the top without any hurdle along the way. It's simply impossible. It's where you build your resilience, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And, I'm just not sure. Some players, want it now and I've got to get on. And whereas, back in, when I was playing, man, there were some talented players that, and early on, you could only have 10 in an Australian team. So that was tough to crack. And eventually it moved to 12 players. So, but yeah, it was, had some tough times, but you just hang in there and just keep playing. And as I've always said, someone else's misfortune is always, a success for you, and that happened to me on a number of occasions.
So I snuck a glimpse of you in a Swifts outfit. You've been in there doing a bit of shooting specialist work with the Swifties, and gee, you chose a good year to come on board, Nat Avellino, and win a bloody grand final. Well done to you. Hey, I said this to Shelley O'Donnell when I was having a chat. Looking at the modern game now, if you could be on the netball court as a wing attack, tell me which shooter in the league you'd love to be feeding a ball to.
Sam Wallace.
Really?
Oh,
are you just being really Swifty, or are you just
no.
Seriously, Sam Wallace?
She can just get the ball. I just say to the feeders, just give it to her, she'll get it.
Yeah.
Just let it go. Mind you, I'd let it go from the centre third and the transverse line, not from the edge of the circle. Yeah. Because that's what I do, and I agree with Shelley, we couldn't keep up with this backwards, forward, slow start. Get the ball, look down, let it go. Yeah. Because she is just such an amazing athlete to let that ball go, give it to her in the air. Man, she can just pull that ball in from anywhere.
And coachable athlete, Nat?
Oh, absolutely, man. She just took on everything on board last year, just tried to add a few things, change a few things to her game last year, and so coachable. And Natalie, I hear you all the time. Natalie, I hear you.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah, it is. And just love working with the Swifts last year. Unfortunately, I've only really had one session with them. After their schedule in Melbourne, they changed their court session, and then this COVID started and sort of changed, with the contact, and obviously now they're on hold. So hopefully when they get back on track, look forward to getting involved with them again.
Well, let's talk COVID. This is what I feel it's like this.
Yeah,
how sure you is. With it all? Does life stop for you? I mean, obviously you've got your little girl, but does life stop for you, or how are you coping with it?
Yeah. So I work at a school here in Sydney. So we're now working remotely. Unfortunately, a lot of Term 2 sports not going to be happening. And my main role at the school is looking after netball. And, if the end's not sort of scheduled till the 30th of June, I can't see any community local netball happening till then anyway. So that sort of puts me in a tricky position work-wise. I can't see anything till Term 3 happening at school sport. But, I'm at home, man, am I sore? I'm running behind my daughter on a bike. Good work, Mum. Keep going. Yeah, thanks. We're running, we're walking.
Are we all going to lose weight or put on weight during this period of time? I can't work it out. There's so many posts on social media telling me that I'm going to be a big fat pig because I keep opening the fridge door. And then there's other posts telling me that I'm going to be losing weight because I'm walking the dog 15 times a day. I can't figure it out.
Yeah, no, either can I. You look at your pre-COVID and then you look at your post and it's not good. But, geez, the way I'm going, and with my little girl Emmy going, come on, Mum, good work. Keep it up, Mum. I'm like, oh, God.
Is she going to play netball?
Yeah, she was due to start playing this year. She was doing Net Set Go last year, so I was going to be coaching her this year. And she's got a great pass on her.
Oh, really?
Great one-handed pass. So yeah, she's into all the sports. So she's really struggling and finding that really hard, because at the moment she should be training for soccer and netball and playing soccer and netball on a weekend as well as swimming. So, like a lot of kids, they're just missing out on that.
Yeah,
it's
the big loss, isn't it? We talk it when I'm thinking, I'm not commentating and I'm sitting home because we're not at that elite level, but it's the community fabric across our country, isn't it? That I think most people really miss, is just being able to get out and be in that community involvement of sport. That to me is the greatest loss, without a doubt, during this whole COVID experience.
Yeah, absolutely. And you feel for the kids, because you're trying to teach them at home, and you have your moments where this isn't school, this is just home, and you're trying to get that into them. So getting her outside, and, I brought some equipment home from school. So, she set up cones, and we've got sack bags, and we've got skipping ropes, and, she's an only child, but, she just misses that contact with her school friends and sporting friends. And so it is tough for the community and tough for the kids, that they're just locked in with their family, which is also a great thing. I think a lot of people, there's a different kind of stress for people at the moment, and you just feel a bit more relaxed because you're not rushing here, rushing there. So you've got that time to spend with your family. Yeah. And but man, she's going to wear me out. I tell you, I'll be running marathons before we know it.
Well, we might have to all get together and play in the Masters. We'll be so fit out the backside of this, my friend. Hey, listen, just a couple of quick questions before we finish up. So, number one, who's the best player you ever played alongside?
Oh gosh, I've played with some pretty talented players. I don't know that I can pick one. I fed as a wing attack, Commonwealth Games, Cheryl McMahon, Catherine Cox. I've played with Carissa Toms and Shelley O'Donnell, Sue Kenny, Nicole Cusack. I've played with Donna Wilkins, or it was Nee Dunaloff-Hagen, Tanya Dalton and Dean Wilson. Yeah. I've played with some pretty talented players. I don't think I could pick. I had a really good connection with Jenny Borlays when I was in Adelaide. I couldn't pick, so there's just too many good players.
What about who's been your favourite coach?
My favourite coach. Early on, I've had Bronwyn Williams when I first started out. But I'd had
bench sitting everybody. She needs to pick someone. Who's been your favourite coach?
Norma Plummer, I would say, because, like me, says it as it is, gets on with it. This is how it is, and you just got to do it. And if you don't like it, well, don't sook, because you just got to get on with it. And I think because that's the type of person that I am, I'd say Plum.
Who's the best player in Suncorp Super Netball currently?
Currently, can I look at per team?
I know you want to name a Swift, but like across the board, who's a player that just stands out?
You probably can't go past Laura Langman. I'd say she's definitely Sam Wallace at one end, Pretorius at the other, Kelsey Brown, I think, when she's at the top of her game, I think she's been pretty good.
Oh, good on you, champ. Now, listen, I can't let you go without putting you under the pump for a bit of karaoke with me.
Oh, no. Well, Shelley O'Donnell.
Shelley got it off yesterday. What's your favourite song?
Shelley O'Donnell, what a champ, what a voice.
I know.
God,
don't tell her that. She'll be on the phone to me this afternoon. She'll be on the phone to me. Oh, Gordy.
And that's sober. Jeez.
Oh, mate, it goes downhill when she's had a couple. Come on, what's your favourite song?
Oh, look, back in my Adelaide days, probably my institute days, Oh, What a Night.
I knew you were going to say that. We used to dance like crazy. Come on.
We did. Oh, what a night.
Nat Avellino is going to, for the first time ever, everyone, give us a little bit of "Oh What a Night" karaoke as we send off our video.
Oh, what a night, late December back in '63. What a special night, time for me. I remember what a night.
Oh, Natalie Avellino, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Nat. Nat, so good to chat. Please look after yourself and stay safe through COVID-19. And hopefully we'll see you around the courts with the New South Wales Swifts in season 2020.
Yeah, fingers crossed. Thanks, Gordy.